Welcome to the Mercy Recordings First Friday Showcase for Friday, January 3rd, 2014, held at the Ginkgo Coffee House in St. Paul, featuring Ben Lathrop, Jeff Rissman, and Joe Patalo. The beginning of this recording, as is often the case, is truncated. So we return you to your program already in progress, the Mercy Recordings First Friday Showcase.
And it's this busted bridge. I was not there the day they reopened the Forgotten Bridge, but I heard there was a small ceremony with a ribbon cutting to honor the new bike path and nature trail. Months later, in early October, I decided to visit the old bridge for the first time in almost 20 years. The closer I got to the water, the more aware I became of the scent of decaying leaves and the familiar loamy diesel smell of the wide urban river. When I saw the bridge, I felt my breath catch. What was once a forgotten bridge running along a spur of track used for unloading coal to a long-closed auto plant was now a testament to urban renewal. The trestles were newly stained, the old tracks replaced by an asphalt surface, all the graffiti scrubbed off or buried under a new coat of industrialized paint. Signs were posted warning kids not to climb on the bridge. Its past had been scrubbed clean. It almost seemed quaint, as if its purpose all along was to cater to the urban mobile, the runners, the bikers, the cross-country skiers. But underneath, not even the best intentions could erase everything. It still smelled of stale beer and the faint odor of burning creosote. With wet shoes, I carefully scaled up the incline to where the concrete met the metal. While most of the concrete had been blasted clean and whitewashed, looking carefully, I could still make out hints of the old graffiti, tributes to Nirvana and rants against Scrappy Doo. On an old iron support, in a place where no public worker would bother to paint, I found what I hoped for. Painted in faded red was the class of '94, followed by the names Grizz, Scoop, Bubs, Timbo, and Doug. The last, the best friend I ever had or would likely ever have, gone now for nearly 20 years. I sat down, opened a pack of Marlboros, lit a heater. I hadn't smoked in over 15 years. Had long gotten over missing it, but as I felt that first rush of nicotine, I almost broke into tears, not because I missed the habit, but because of the new wave of memories it seemed to trigger. Long after I finished smoking, I sat there in the damp undercarriage of that once forgotten bridge, trying to remember what I was thinking back then, during those years when the bridge seemed omnipresent in our lives, either directly or indirectly, back when the most important thing in the world was grunge music and friends, back when anything seemed possible, including moving to Seattle to live on a fishing boat, back when all of us seemed to have the effed up world figured out and were certain of our place in it. Cue the Nirvana. Okay. Oh, thanks, Jeff. When he called me, I did say, "Look, you got to pick up a Nirvana riff just in case I need one." So, thanks, Jeff.
All right. I'm gonna play the song that I wrote for my wife when we got engaged. So this is the song I sang to her when I proposed. I'm the kind of person who, if I didn't do things I was scared to do, I probably wouldn't do anything at all. So that's kind of what this song is about. Do you have it? Yeah. Okay. Ever since I was a kid, I dreamed I could fly, defy the law of gravity and sail right through the sky. Brave and bright enough for everyone to see. Stretch out my arms real wide and finally feel free. But if I could choose invisibility or flight, I just might decide to vanish into the night, into the shadows where no one could see me fall. 'Cause I know in the end gravity defeats us all. When it came to choosing, dear, I couldn't stand the thought of losing you to fear. As long as I stay on the ground, I'm scared of heights. As long as I stay in the dark, I'm afraid of the light. But when I hear you say my name, I can do anything. You tell me I can fly, and your words give me wings. So come on and take my hand, baby, let's take the dive. You know it ain't safe, but at least we'll feel alive. Don't look down, you look up and keep your eyes on the goal. You leave your life behind, but you hold on to your soul. 'Cause I know we're not perfect, dear, but perfect love is leading us beyond our fear. You inspire the best songs that I write. Make me wanna live and love and laugh and fight. Ever since I was a kid, I've dreamed I could fly, defy the law of gravity and sail right through the sky. Brave and bright enough for everyone to see. Stretch out my arms real wide and finally feel free.
I'd like to thank Jake Paff, who has very generously allowed me to borrow his brand spanking new guitar tonight. Thank you, Jake. Might need a moment here. Letting my expertise show. This song is called Travelogue. Driving up to Kissick Highway, Your eyes are closed, you're leaning my way. Years ago, it's just you and me in time. We're cruising past old teenage places, discarded things, forgotten faces. Where'd they go? No longer know that much about them. But if I take my eyes up from the road, you're still there sitting next to me. And if I say the years treated you kind, well, just check the rearview mirror. From Tennessee to Minnesota, Greyhound better than a photo. Years ago, I rode all night to get to you. Your Honda to our first apartment, while wondering how your work night went. I thought I know, proposed when I was still a student. Thought if I take a detour on the way, I want to try that road with you. And if I claim the bumps made for a first class ride, seems like now you're sitting nearer. Moving across the Mississippi, deciding home was a twin city. Years ago, began traditions of our own, making good time getting home some weekend, while pushing straight through to the island where you and I did row our troubles and more light and easy. But if I take my time and get there slow, can't recall what the rush was for. And if I say raging like some damn fine wine, pathetic line, but I know I've never held you dear. You say Aptekisik's not a highway, that I'm coloring things rosy my way, but I don't know. Maybe truth is what we feel. And children stuck behind in car seats, and extra toes between our sheets, just goes to show. You pack 'em in, the trip gets richer. So if I say that now I love you more, I've had some miles to think it through. And if I say the years treated us kind, the path is only getting clearer. Thank you.
Well, sure you can.
Right away.
While you're getting ready there, Jeff and I have known each other for a long time. He's been a very dear friend, and occasionally we try to push each other artistically a little bit. And so a few years back when we were working together at the same high school, at Arlington High School, I don't exactly remember. Oh, it was, we have this annual get-together where they play music and I...
Dance with a washboard.
I dance. I do interpretive dance. Anyway, usually I write something. So we had a challenge because we were busy working and we weren't being very creative. And so I think your challenge was you had to write a song, and in it you had to use the word kumbaya and you had to rhyme kumbaya. Right? Remember that? And
I do, and none of the rhymes are appropriate to share.
No.
Well,
Yeah. But he pulled it off. And a lot of people know a little bit about my writing. I write a lot of fishing stories. I'm kind of into fly fishing, and I do a lot of essays. And so, some people were earlier saying, "I've never heard you read anything that didn't have fish in it." But I had to write an essay, a fishing essay, and I had to have. What did you say? Martha Stewart.
it was it had to be a technically difficult trout stream, Martha Stewart, and a bagpipe.
And all those things had to be in the story. Let me tell you, that is artistically challenging. You pulled it off.
Well, fittingly enough, this is also tied into the night that Joe is describing. It's an annual get-together of some friends. We go out to our buddy Chris's place. He's got an acre and a half right off the Kinnickinnick River in River Falls. And we try to pack as much guy fun as we can into, about 15 hours. So the whole deal is less than a day. Usually we shoot out there after work as early as we can on Friday, go fly fishing till dusk, come back up, food, drink, and then the bonfire, and folks play music, read stories. And you're always invited to bring something sort of in the spirit of fish camp. And so I would try to write a song to bring. Joe was talking about one of the years that happened. And so the song I'm going to play now is one of the songs I wrote for fish camp. Started out as a fish thing and kind of took a left turn, as songs and stories will do sometimes. But a couple of things I have to mention about it. One is that I never intended to play it in front of more than a group of guys that I knew around the fire. Certainly not this kind of a deal. So there's a part in there where I think the line exactly is, I'm done trying to impress. I'm sure not looking for a stage. So I just would like to invite you to enjoy the irony of that line as I sing it from the stage. What else was I going to share about that? So anyway, this one is called Half-Ass Perfection. Sorry. I don't know the names of half these trees. Both the insects and their imitations are simply size and color to me. But I know exactly how it feels, standing thigh deep in the stream, all around the sights and sound caress my soul. I've run damn near 15,000 miles. But despite the shoes, the sweat and aches, I've never won a single race. But I'm not out there for a prize. Those early mornings on the trail, the rhythmic beat of breath and feet, makes me feel whole. But what if I could run faster? Or what if I caught more fish? Or what if anything I'm after is just a childish wish list? What if I had more dollars? What if I had more might? But it feels like I got it all, even if I don't get it right. just a boy when I first picked up guitar. You think so many years of plucking strings might make it sound a bit more pleasing, but I'm done trying to impress. Sure not looking for a stage, faking along a simple song leaves me satisfied. All the things I swore I'd be when I'm a dad, but the day's too damn short to make a dent in a laundry list of good intentions. Still, we play and read and talk, show my care, try to guide their way. The years fly past and you can't go back, but it's a wondrous ride. Well, what if I were more gifted? Or what if I had more time? Or what if anything that fills me is just a state of my mind? What if I had more dollars? What if I had more might? But it feels like I got it all when I kiss my kids goodnight. Or what if I showed more patience? What if I got wise? If my chest were broader like those magazine guys? If I had more dollars, if I had more might, but it feels like I got it all, even if I don't get it right. It feels like I got it all. It sure seems like I got it all. I feel like I got it all, sitting here with you tonight.
Wow. Thanks, Jeff. I feel like a punctuation mark between these guys. That's the English teacher in me. Yeah. You guys want to be my parentheses? Yeah. Right. Yeah. All right. So I was talking earlier to a few people about that sort of central idea of music. And when you're at a certain age, between 18 and 22, and I didn't get a chance to check with people, but because I make my life as my career as an English teacher, I wouldn't be worth my salt if I didn't get some audience participation. I mean, I really need that. So, Steve, thank you. Who is it for you? I heard somebody say James Taylor and Carole King, right? Yeah. Sweet baby James. Yeah, man, that takes you back. Wow, Leonard Cohen and Nick Drake. And was that in your teen years or early 20s?
No, late 40s.
Okay, yeah. And you hear that and it takes you back, right? You're in a very important place, a real place for you. Somebody else. The music doesn't have to betray your age. Don't worry about that.
Uncle Tupelo.
Oh God, that's a great one. Yeah, Uncle Tupelo. Thank you. And when was that?
When I was about 20.
Okay, yeah, that'd be about right. Yeah. Well, the music scene in the Twin Cities has always been so rich. I mean, from the Replacements and Husker Du and Jayhawks and some really really amazing stuff. Gear Daddies. Now I am sort of dating myself. So I'm still curious. Any others out there? Somebody want to volunteer? How about somebody younger? Shayna. T. Really? No, it doesn't have to be. Oh, yeah. You're talking about T. Swift, meaning Taylor Swift? Yes. Well, good. That is cool. Yeah. My daughter unapologetically loves her. Seen her in concert, just says, "You know what? I love this woman." No. I mean, I don't get it, but it's like, wow. I mean, for her, it's real. Yeah. Victor Borga. Jeff, I hear a request coming. Okay. One more. I'm just so curious with that. Yes. Really? No. I think that's great. I just think that's why I love hearing that. That is so cool. So when you have a special place in your heart when you hear Cher and and a tattoo. Wow. Must be important. Yeah.
Show him your tattoo, Joe.
What's that?
Show him your tattoo.
Yes. So it has nothing to do with anything, but I have a daughter who is 18, and since I'm writing about 18, I buried myself into this sort of moment in life, and it's such an important period in life, you know. And so here I am, not paying attention to my own 18-year-old daughter, and she comes home the other day, and she's got a tattoo. I'm cool with that. That's all right. But it goes from her elbow all the way up to, right here. And I just went, wow. I mean, it was a Native American Cherokee thing, and it was pretty cool. And all I could say was, did it hurt? And she said, no, it's fine. And I find out that she's got 2 other tattoos that I didn't know. I was like, how did I miss this? And so, yeah, that one kind of came home to me. I really don't have much else to really share with you tonight, other than the idea that writing is really kind of a weird thing for those of you who do it. And for me, it's not linear; it's really organic. And so I end up with like really strange lines or sentences or images, and I write them down, and I think, late at night, and I think, oh man, that's really going to work. That's great. And then I don't know what to do with them. So I've got these random scraps all over the place, and I kind of go back and I try to figure out a way. And here's an example of one. If there are 2 things teens understand, it's hypocrisy and sarcasm. Recognizing the ubiquity of the first leads to the use of the other. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's so true, right? I mean, so you get these, it's like, what am I going to do? And then this other one that I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's so true, all that peer pressure in high school, and the idea that all of us at the time were eventually reined in, not by anything so overt as religious doctrine or conservative politics, but by something far more pervasive and persuasive, the innate desire to be accepted. So true, it seems to me, so true, and yet I don't know what to do with all of that. So anyway, tonight it was kind of fun to sort of share a work in progress and the organic part of all of it, and some of this stuff may never even appear in the book. You never know until the very end. And by the way, I do have another book out there. It's called The Eddy. If you're interested, you can go to Amazon.com. I didn't bring any copies with me, but it's The Eddy, and it's a lot of... Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. So you can find it on Amazon if you're interested, or you can ask me about it. Ben.
They say that Richard Cory owned 1/2 of this old town, with political connections to spread his wealth around. Born into society, a banker's only child, he had everything a man could want: power, grace, style. But I work in his factory, and I curse the life I'm living, and I curse my poverty, and I wish that I could be, oh, I wish that I could be, oh, I wish that I could be Richard Cory. The papers took his picture almost everywhere he goes. Richard Cory at the opera, Richard Cory at a show, and the rumors of his parties and the orgies on his yacht Well, he surely must be happy with everything he's got. But I work in his factory, and I curse the life I'm living, and I curse my poverty, and I wish that I could be, oh, I wish that I could be, oh, I wish that I could be Richard Cory. Well, he freely gave to charity, he had the common touch, and they were grateful for his patronage, and they thanked him very much. So my mind was filled with wonder when the evening papers read, Richard Cory went home last night and put a bullet in his head. Thank you. So for those of you who grew up in the 80s like me, that was Richard Cory by Simon and Garfunkel. And I really wanted to play that song for a reason, and that's this. Like I said, as an English teacher, for me, music and literature are very much connected. And that song is based on a poem by Edward Arlington Robinson, who I think is one of the great American poets. And I chose that song because I set another one of his poems to music recently, and it's my favorite of his. It's called Luke Havergal. So that's the song I'm going to play next. The words are mostly his, the music is mine. Go to the western gate, Luke Havergal, there where the leaves cling crimson to the wall, and in the twilight wait for what will come. The leaves will whisper over there, and some like flying words will strike you as they fall. But go, and if you listen, she will call. Go to the western gate, Luke Havergal, Luke Havergal. No, there is not a dawn in eastern skies to rift the fiery night that's in your eyes. But here, where western glooms are gathering, the dark shall slay the dark. If anything, God slays himself with every leaf that flies, and hell is more than half of paradise. No, there is not a dawn in eastern skies, in eastern skies. What can I do now that she's gone? I don't think that life can go on. The grief is more than I can bear. There's no escape from my despair. Out of a grave I come to tell you this. Out of a grave I come to quench the kiss that lingers on your forehead with a glow that binds you to the way that you must go. Yes, there is yet one way to where she is, bitter but a way that faith can never miss. Out of a grave I come to tell you this, to tell you this, to tell you this. There is the western gate, Luke, have a go. There are the crimson leaves upon the wall, go, for the winds are tearing them away, nor think to riddle the dead words they say, or any more to feel them as they fall, but go. And if you trust her, she will call. Go to the western gate, Luke, have a go. Luke, have a go. Thank you.
Okay, we have time for one more. And if you have any place that we can go to find your music or your writings, I know Joe already mentioned his Amazon business, but if there's, I mean, not business, but your business on Amazon. Eddie? The Eddie. If you guys have your music posted anywhere, or if somebody's going to maybe put it up tonight, can say that. And also, you are by far still the best listening audience, but you're the worst tipping audience. Come on, we have $1.41 in here. So Eric's going to pass it around. It's like the biggest canister we've had, and it is so lonely. So please let them know they did a good job with more than 50 cents a piece.
So please now, find wallets, extract money. This will be getting passed around. So drop money in the big canister, just pass it along, make it all the way to the back of the room. These guys have worked so hard for tonight, so.
You guys said.
Oh, we announced our next Friday.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Okay, next Friday. No, I mean next month's first Friday showcase is February whatever it is, the first Friday. And we have a great lineup. It's Corpse Reviver and Miss Becky Capel and is it Wilkinson James? Or, yeah, I always get it backwards. Who are two St. Thomas professors that sing, and they have graced the stage here before. So come back first Friday next month. You ready? Great.
Thanks very much, everybody, for your being a great audience tonight. Last song I'm going to do is another Fish Camp tune. This one's actually been called the Fish Camp Anthem at times. What you need to know about the background on this is that the first time we had Fish Camp, my 4 kids were all 8 or under, and I didn't get out much. And I already mentioned we try to pack a lot into a short period of time, and I maybe overdid a little bit. Infamy, I think, is the word I'm looking for. I'm still reminded about things from that night. I tried to disarm folks by taking it on with the song. It only partly worked. But this was my offering then, the second year at Fish Camp. There's too many maybe backstories to try to fill you in on, so I won't try. But I will mention that there's a guy named Judge John Volker who went under the pen name Robert Traver and wrote Trout Magic and Trout Madness. And there's a passage on the inside of that called Testament of a Fisherman. And my father loved that passage. And we took to going streamside with a tin cup, my brother, my father, and I, when we would go fishing for the first time. And we would read that passage aloud and have a toast. And after my father died, my brother and my sister and I all toasted him with that. And so it's got a kind of a special place for us. So that shows up in here. And I guess the one other thing I'd mention is if you're not familiar with fly fishing, you take a metal hook and you tie, feather and you know where I'm going with this, Joe? Anyway, the point is the point is that it's not something you want to eat. Maybe I'll leave it at that. This is called the Kinney Ship. Drive a short distance, and I'm in another state, not just Wisconsin. As this tune will now relate, grab my waiter's boots and rod and 24 cigars. Just a short distance, it's time for a fish camp once again. Gonna gather with some old and new friends, see if we can get as rowdy as before. Gonna eat and drink and fish and sing, hell do damn near everything. I can't do the other 364. Tomorrow morning you can just peel me off the floor. Is that a blue wing? And did you see that subtle rise? You caught a fat one. I can see it in your eyes. At dusk we'll trade our flies and vests for scotch and some guitars. Was that a blue wing? It's time for a fish camp once again. Gonna gather with some old and new friends, see if we can act as foolish as before. I'm talking, laughing, lying, smoke, and maybe another chair'll get broke. Find out just how much noise the neighbors can ignore. Tomorrow morning you can just peel me off the floor. Well, that's quite a story, and pretty ballsy to admit, maybe no glory, but we don't give a shit. At least you're not that sad fella who swallowed his own fly. But that's quite a story. It's time for a fish camp once again. I'm gonna gather with some old and new friends, see if we can get as raucous as before. Gonna camp and hike and grill and play, let life's baggage fall away. At least for a few hours, maybe more. Tomorrow morning you can just peel me off the floor. And you know old Judge Volker was right. It's a delightful act of small rebellion. So I raise a tin cup to my dad who would gripe, "This ain't no goddamn fun. There's work we could get done. I could be cleaning the gutters instead of casting a trout line." Then like a good dream, it will end too quickly, I fear. Can you believe it? Believe I'll have another beer. I'd like to thank my host and all you folks who let me bend your ear. It's been like a good dream. It's time for a fish camp once again. Gonna gather with some old and new friends, see if we can get as rowdy as before. Gonna eat and drink and fish and sing, hell do damn near everything. I can't do the other 364. Tomorrow morning you can just peel me off the floor. Tomorrow morning, just peel me off the floor. Thanks very much.
By the way, I swallowed a fly. And I learned,
Size 14 scud, if I remember correctly.
it was an orange scud, size 14, which might not mean anything to you guys, but I spent several days wondering exactly how the intestinal tract works and trying to figure. Yeah, I had the great honor years ago to fish with your dad, Art, and it's a great story for many reasons, but that was when I was first introduced to the tradition of scotch in a tin cup. And, we got ready to go fishing on the Rush River in Wisconsin, and, well, no, we had to do scotch in a tin cup. And I thought, God, I love Jewish people. They have the greatest traditions. I love this. And it wasn't until much later I realized it wasn't a Jewish tradition. But it deserves to be one. It was just so cool. So, anyway, Ben.
Well, thank you. Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate you coming out to hear us. You've been a great audience, as Jeff said. And Joe, I want to buy your book. Jeff, I want to buy your album. So get one out.
I have an album?
Well, you should. So I wrote this song a few months ago when I was in the middle of teaching the Odyssey for about the 8th time, and it's inspired by the Odyssey. It's a song in the voice of Odysseus, and I was probably a little bit more generous with him in this song than he actually deserves, but I like to think that maybe deep down he was kind of a good guy. I told my 7-year-old that I wrote a song about the Odyssey, and he was pretty interested because he's really into mythology. So he said, "What's it about?" I said, "Well, it's kind of a love song." He's like, "Why'd you have to write a love song? Why couldn't you write about him fighting the Hydra or something?" I was like, "Dude, Odysseus didn't fight the Hydra. That was Hercules." Anyway, this is he fought Scylla, the 6-headed monster, so close enough, I guess. No monsters in this song, but if you know the story at all, you know that Odysseus was gone for a long, long time, and his wife kind of stands in the annals of literature as a paragon of faithfulness, Penelope. So Odysseus, on the other hand, not all that faithful. So this is called Homecoming. It's been too long, baby, since I've seen your face, and I can't help wondering if I'll come home to disgrace. 'Cause even though I never stopped loving you, I'd be lying if I said I'd been always true. No, I've been a fool. So I wouldn't blame you too much if you just moved on. It's hard to keep love alive when the lover is so long gone. 'Cause you can weave every day and unweave in the dark. It's just a matter of time before it all falls apart and you lose heart. But baby, I've got a feeling I'll see you again. It won't be long now till I cross that final sea. And maybe you won't know the man that you see then, but won't you just wait a little longer for me? Well, I can bend a bow and I can shoot it straight. I've been to hell and back and I have often tempted fate. But when it comes to love, I am not so strong. I don't deserve a woman who holds on so long when I've done her wrong. But baby, I've got a feeling I'll see you again. It won't be long now till I cross that final sea. And maybe you won't know the man that you see then, but won't you just wait a little longer for me? And many waters cannot quench love, and all these oceans cannot keep love away. And if I gave all I had, it wouldn't be enough. I'd trade it all for just one day with you. But baby, I've got a feeling I'll see you again. It won't be long now till I cross that final sea. Maybe you won't know the man that you see then. Won't you just wait a little longer? Wait a little longer. Won't you just wait a little longer for me? Thank you.
Thanks, guys. It was fun. Thanks to Jonathan Hayes on sound, Eric Brandt for organizing, Ginkgo, just because, and for having us. I'm Susie Abramson, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you.